What just happened at the US Open has left the tennis world in total shock. Coco Gauff, the reigning French Open champion, the player who came into New York with so much confidence and expectation, has just been crushed by none other than Naomi Osaka. And not just defeated, completely dismantled on court. The scoreline tells the story. 6-3, 6-2. A straight sets beatdown that lasted barely over an hour. Nobody saw this coming. Nobody. Think about it. Coco Gauff was supposed to be the face of American tennis right now. She had the crowd. She had the momentum. She had the energy of New York behind her. And yet, on Arthur Ashe Stadium, the spotlight turned cold and cruel. Naomi Osaka walked out like a woman on a mission, playing with the kind of confidence and precision that once made her the queen of hard courts. For Coco, it was one of those nights where nothing seemed to work. 16 unforced errors in the very first set alone. Every rally slipping away, every serve return coming back with more fire than it left with. What makes this defeat so shocking isn't just the score. It's the contrast. Gauff has been working tirelessly this season, making changes to her serve, trying to polish her game with a new biomechanics team. She was hoping to peak here at the US Open, the place where she made her first big splash as a teenager. But instead of rising to the occasion, her game fell apart under Osaka's relentless pressure. Her serve, usually one of her biggest weapons, betrayed her time and time again. Double faults, weak second serves, balls landing short. Osaka was all over it, punishing every mistake. Meanwhile, Naomi Osaka looked reborn. Let's not forget, she's been fighting her way back into form after time away from the sport, balancing life as a new mother and a champion trying to reclaim her place at the top. Tonight, she looked like the Osaka of old. Calm, powerful, focused. She barely blinked, making just 5 unforced errors the entire match. That's unbelievable efficiency against a player of Coco's caliber. And that's why this felt less like a close battle and more like a storm that Gauff simply couldn't withstand. The fans inside the stadium were stunned. Some were silent. Others gasped as point after point slipped away from the American favorite. You could see the frustration building on Coco's face. The clenched jaw, the quick glances toward her box, the desperate attempts to pump herself up. It just wasn't clicking. And across the net, Osaka was stone-faced, laser-focused, almost serene, as if she had been waiting years for this exact moment. Remember, this was billed as a showdown, a rematch with history. Back in 2019, a teenage Coco Gauff faced Osaka at this very tournament, and after losing, she was comforted by Naomi in a moment that went viral across the world. 6 years later, the roles were supposed to be different. Gauff was supposed to be the established star, the favorite, the one expected to dominate. But tonight, history repeated itself in the most brutal way. Osaka reminded everyone that she is still a giant of the game. The shocking part is also how quickly it was over. Barely 66 minutes. For a match hyped as a blockbuster, it ended almost before it began. Gauff never managed to hold momentum. Every time she won a point, Osaka responded with 2 or 3 of her own. And by the time the second set rolled around, it wasn't even a contest. The scoreboard kept ticking in Osaka's favor until the inevitable was sealed. For Coco, this defeat is going to sting. This is not just an early exit. It's a crushing blow to her confidence, especially after the high of winning her first French Open earlier this year. She has been seen as the player who could dominate the next decade, and she still might. But losses like this one raise questions. Can she handle the pressure? Can she maintain her level on the biggest stages against the most fearless opponents? Tonight, those questions felt louder than ever. For Naomi, though, this victory is monumental. Her first Grand Slam quarterfinal since 2021. Her first real statement on the big stage in years. To do it against the reigning champion of Roland Garros makes it even sweeter. This isn't just another win. This is proof that Osaka is back, stronger, hungrier, and maybe even better than before. Her movement was sharp. Her serve was deadly. Her forehand was devastating. And the poise? Oh, the poise. She carried herself like a 4-time major champion who has nothing to prove, yet everything to prove at the same time. The tennis world is buzzing tonight because this result flips the narrative upside down. Coming into the match, Coco was the one in form, the one everyone expected to shine under the lights. Osaka was seen as the underdog, the question mark. But once the match began, it was Osaka who took control, Osaka who dictated, Osaka who left the world stunned as the players shook hands at the net. You could sense the emotion. Coco's disappointment, Naomi's quiet satisfaction. No wild celebration from Osaka, just a look of calm pride. She knows this is just one step, but it's a massive one. And for Gauff, the walk-off court was heavy. The crowd still cheered her name, but the sting of such a lopsided loss will be hard to shake off anytime soon. Social media exploded instantly. Fans posting unbelievable, shocking, what just happened? Clips of Gauff's errors, Osaka's winners, and the stunned expressions in the stands are already flooding timelines. This is the kind of moment that defines not just a tournament, but a season. So where does this leave us? Naomi Osaka is surging, back in a Grand Slam quarterfinal with her eyes on the prize. Coco Gauff is left searching for answers, wondering how a night filled with so much promise turned into such a nightmare. This match will be replayed and talked about for weeks to come, and it just might mark a turning point in both their careers. Tennis fans wanted drama. They got shockwaves instead. The Queen of New York was supposed to be Coco Gauff. But tonight, Naomi Osaka walked onto Arthur Ashe Stadium and reminded the world exactly who she is. A champion, a fighter, and once again, a player to fear. And as we all process what just unfolded, one thing is clear. This US Open has officially been shaken to its core.